Before we get started with the video, I'd like to inform you of a very useful tool called the ENB FXAA Suite Effects Manager and Remover, which is a tool that will automatically uninstall your ENB files for you with the click of a button. To learn more about this amazing tool, check out my video tutorial on how to use it if you're interested. Thanks for listening, and now onto the video. Hey everyone, it's me, Heisenberg here, and today we're going to be taking a look at SUSHi ENB version 1.1, which was actually requested for me to make a tutorial on by a subscriber of mine. So if you guys, after this video, need any help with installing an ENB and would like me to make an installation on it, or if you would like me to compare a set of mods for my Skyrim mod comparison series, or even an ENB or a mod or armor or a player home for me to showcase, just leave a comment or send me a message and I'll get back to you on your request as soon as I can. I'm here to show you the Skyrim content that you guys want to see, so just let me know. And just like I mentioned in my video yesterday, I'm going to start covering Mod Organizer installations alongside the Nexus Mod Manager installations in the same video, because Mod Organizer only has a couple different steps you have to do, so it's not going to be that much different, but I've been getting a lot of requests from subscribers that would like to see Mod Organizer installations as well, so that's why I decided to go ahead and just add this in. So yeah, so that's the newest feature to my videos. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is head over to the SUSHi ENB page, and the thing with this ENB is I noticed with like people, you either hate it or you love it, and I just so happen to love it. It's just, there's just something really eye-catching about it, and I don't know, I just really love it. And there'll be a link for this ENB in the description, by the way, if I didn't mention that. And you can go ahead and take a look at these screenshots, just to, if you've never heard of this ENB before, you can take a look at it. And shout out to the author for putting my showcase video on your page. That's really, I thought that was really cool of you, so shout out to the author of SUSHi ENB. And then we can scroll down a little bit, and then you'll see under requirements, it's meant to be used with ELFX, which is Enhanced Lights and Effects, and then Pure Waters and Climates of Tamriel with all the patches. And it's meant to be used with version 266, but if you actually go to enbdev.com, version 266 isn't available anymore as of today. The latest version is version 269. However, I still had a version 266 left over because I already had it installed. So for the people following this video, if you do not have the version 266 binary and you need it, let me know and I'll email this archive to you, or I'll put it on Mega so people can just upload it as they need it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to upload it to Mega right away or if I'm going to wait. So if you don't see a link for it in the description, just personally leave a comment and I'll email it to you until I get it on Mega. So once you've installed the 266 binary file, unless you would rather use the 269, it's up to you, but I'm going to use 266 because that's what it says. You're going to right click on it, and you're going to need either WinRAR or 7-zip. Personally, I have both for the purpose of these videos. If you're using WinRAR, you're going to click this option right here, and then if you use 7-zip, you're going to bring down your menu and you're going to click this option right here, and it's going to turn it into a folder, which is what we want. And then once you've done that, you can either just delete the binary or you can put it aside. And then the next thing we're going to do is we can go ahead and close out of enbdev.com. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to download enbhelper. So this ENB page doesn't have a link for you to click on the page. So the links for all this stuff are going to be down in the description. So go ahead and click the link for the enbhelper file, and you're going to get to a devc.com page for enbhelper, and then under download we're going to click the download button, and it's going to start downloading it as a zip file. Once you get the download bar down here for Google Chrome users, go ahead and click on it. If you're using Internet Explorer, click run and you'll get a pop-up that looks something like this. We're going to hit backspace and drag and drop it onto our desktop. And just like we did with the binary archive, we're going to right click on it. WinRAR users, click this option right here. 7-zip users, bring down your menu and click this option right here, and it's going to turn it into a folder just like we did with the binary. Delete it if you want, and then we can go ahead and close out of enbhelper. And what we're going to do now is we're going to scroll up to the top of the page and click the Files tab. And under Main Files, you'll see a high quality version and the performance version. I'm going to be doing the high quality version, but if you require the performance version, the process is the exact same as the high quality version, so you can still follow along. So I'm going to go ahead and manually download the high quality version, and it's going to tell you these mods that you should have activated, and then click continue with my download. And then under optional files, it says without letterbox, black bar optional. For the people that don't know, the letterbox effect is pretty much the option that adds the cinematic black bars on the top and bottom of your game. Personally, I can't stand that, so I'm going to manually download this as well. You don't have to if you like the black bars, but I do not. So for the SUSHi ENB archive, we're going to click on it, and we're going to get a pop-up like this, and again, we're going to drag and drop it onto our desktop. Whoops, and then we're going to right-click it. WinRAR users, click this option right here. 7-zip users, click this option right here. It's going to get made into a folder, and we can delete the archive. And then if you decided to use the without letterbox effect, you're going to click on that. Go back to our desktop, hit backspace, drag and drop it. And then we're going to do what we've done with all the archives. WinRAR users, click the third option. 7-zip users, click the fourth option. And we can delete the archive. So, once we've gotten all those files that we needed for SUSHi ENB, what we're going to do now is we're going to locate our Skyrim folder. And if you use Nexus Mod Manager, an easy way to find your Skyrim folder is bring up Nexus Mod Manager and click this orange folder right here, and you'll get a drop-down menu. Click Open Game Folder, and it'll bring you right to your game folder. So that's a cool feature. And then if you use Mod Organizer in your little information tab down here, you'll see it'll tell you what drive it's on, and then Programs, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, and Skyrim. So basically you'll know you're in the right place if you see Skyrim Launcher.exe and TESV.exe. If the .exe is not present, don't worry about it. It's the same thing either way. So the very first thing I'm going to have you do is once you get to your Skyrim folders, we're going to open up the SUSHi ENB folder. And we're going to click on SUSHi ENB Update 1.1. And as you can see, we're going to have like a whole bunch of folders and a whole bunch of files. Well, if you look under instructions, you can copy any settings if you want to, but that's optional. But what I'm pretty much going to have you do is I'm going to have you highlight everything in this folder except for data. So please make sure data is unhighlighted. And once you've highlighted all of these, I'm going to have you right click and copy, go back to our Skyrim folder and paste. And once you've done that, we're going to go back to the SUSHi ENB folder, and the data folder that I told you to unhighlight, I'm going to have you right click it, and if you use WinRAR, click Add to Archive. If you use 7-zip, bring down your menu and click Add to Archive. And you're going to get a window that looks something like this. Now obviously name it something pertaining to the ENB's data files. I'm just going to name mine SUSHi ENB data and click enter. And it's going to make it into an archive for you. You're going to drag and drop that archive onto your desktop. And then you can go ahead and close out of the SUSHi ENB folder. And if you use Nexus Mod Manager, you're going to bring up Nexus Mod Manager and go to your Mods tab and click the Add Mod from File option and go to your desktop or wherever you extracted the archive to and go ahead and open up SUSHi ENB data. And it's going to add it in here as if you downloaded it with Manager on Nexus. And once you've added it in here, go ahead and activate it. If you don't see it in here after you've added it, go ahead and restart your Mod Manager. That's completely normal if that happens. So yeah, Nexus Mod Manager users, once you've done all that, go ahead and activate it. If you use Mod Organizer, go ahead and bring up Mod Organizer. And in the top left-hand corner, you'll see a box with the CD in front of it. Go ahead and click on that. And go to the Desktop tab or wherever you extracted it to. And we're going to add the SUSHi ENB data. And then we're going to click on Manual. And you'll notice that it says No Game Data on top level. We're going to right-click on the data folder up here. We're going to click Set Data Directory. And you'll now see that it says Looks Good. Go ahead and click OK. And then it'll be added to the bottom of your mod list. Go ahead and check mark it. And in our load order, the SUSHi, I believe it's either the snow, I think this one, the SUSHi ENB plugin goes above the snow effects, I believe. So once you've done that, make sure that's above it, or you can just run loot or boss to fix that. And then once you've added it in there, what I'm going to have you do now is open up the ENB helper that we downloaded. And you'll notice there's an ENB helper file, a readme, and then a link. Well, the only file we need out here is the enbhelper.dll, and we're going to copy that. And then back in our Skyrim folder, you'll notice that one of the files we copied over from SUSHi ENB is ENB series. Well, we're going to go ahead and open up the ENB series folder, and we're going to paste the ENB helper in there and copy and replace. Actually, I'm going to stay in here, and then we can close out. And then for the people that that downloaded the without letterbox effect, go ahead and open up that folder, but make sure you stay in the ENB series folder. Open that up, click without letterbox optional, and go ahead and copy the effect.txt.ini file, and then paste that in the ENB series folder, and and then copy and replace. And now you don't have a letterbox effect, which is awesome. And then go ahead and close out of that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the 266 folder, and we're going to be opening up the wrapper version. Injector version installations, I'm not very familiar with, but I feature a channel on my homepage channel called Mr. Guyanese channel. There's a lot of channels in that sentence. He has an Injector version tutorial, so if you need to do Injector version installations, I would recommend watching his video. It's very well made. So go ahead and open up the wrapper version, and the two files we need out of here are the d3d9.dll file and the enbhost.exe file. We can go ahead and copy those and then paste those into the Skyrim folder, and then we can close out of it, and then we can go ahead and delete all of these folders because we're pretty much done. We just have to tweak a couple of ini settings now. So if we go back to the page and click on description, if we go to the under display right here, if you use Nexus Mod Manager, I'm gonna show you where to locate your ini prefs, and I'm gonna show you an easy trick to edit them. Mod Organizer users, the shortcut might not work for you, but I'm still gonna show everyone anyway. So Nexus Mod Manager users, the location for your Skyrim prefs is you can click the start menu down here and click Documents, and then click My Games, and then click Skyrim, and then you'll see Skyrim.ini and SkyrimPrefs.ini. If the .ini is not present, don't worry about it. It's the same thing either way. We're going to be opening up these Skyrim prefs, and I would highly recommend using a program called Notepad++. It's 100% free and so much better than regular Notepad. So if you're interested in downloading it, there'll be a link in the description, so go ahead and edit that. If you use Mod Organizer, you're going to open up Mod Organizer, and you're going to click this puzzle piece right here, and click the ini editor, and you'll see a Skyrim.ini tab and a SkyrimPrefs.ini tab. Make sure you're in the Skyrim prefs. So for Nexus Mod Manager users, the fast and easy trick that I wanted to show you is you can double click on the setting and it'll highlight it for you, and you can do Control-C and that copies it. Go back to Notepad, Control-F to find it, and then Control-V to paste it, and click Find Next. and it'll find the setting automatically for you. So if your bfloat point render target says 0, change it to 1. Mod organizer users, go ahead and bring up mod organizer. And the Control F command might not work for you because it does not work for me, but I know it can work for some people. So bfloat point render target is right here. It's not that far from the top. It's under the display bracket. So mine's at 1, so I can leave it. And then the next setting, double click, Control C, Control F, Control V, change it to 1 if it's not at 1. And then B trees receive shadows. Okay, so double click, Control C, Control F, Control V. And then that setting is directly underneath the previous one. Double click, Control C, Control F, Control V. F gamma equals 1.00, Control C, Control F, Control V. Since I use Nexus Mod Manager, Mod Organizer, I gotta edit it in there. So Mod Organizer users, once you've tweaked your settings, click the Save button, close out. Nexus Mod Manager users, File and Save, and then close out. And then what we're gonna do now is we're going to go back to our Skyrim folder, where we copied and pasted all the ENB files, and we're going to be opening up the file called ENB local, and it may or may not have a .ini at the end of it. Either way, go ahead and open it up, and immediately the author says in the limiter section of ENB local.ini, wait busy renderer must be set to false and not true. So I'm going to double click on that, Control C, Control F, Control V. Oh wait, that's why. And then, as you can see, it's already set to false, so I don't have to worry about that. So then if you scroll up from the limiter section, about 2 sections, you'll see there's a section called memory. And the 2 settings we're going to be focusing on in here is reserved memory size MB, and I'm going to put mine at 256. This can be adjusted in intervals of 128, so with 128 being the lowest and 1024 being the highest. If you experience stuttering, you can change it in intervals of 128. And then video memory size MB is how much VRAM your system has. So 4096 would be 4 gigabytes, and 3072 is 3, which is what I have, and then 2 gigabytes is 2048, and I'm not really sure on 1 gigabyte. So if you don't know how much VRAM you have, make sure you look it up on your specs. And it's very important that you get the setting correct. So once you've edited those 2 settings, go ahead and go to File and Save, and then close out. Alright guys, so once you've done all that, you can go ahead and look at the highly recommended mods section if you wanted to download all the mods that he has if you want your screenshots to look like his pictures. So we've pretty much just downloaded and installed SUSHi ENB, so go ahead and run loot so it can go ahead and set up your plugins. And once we go ahead and run loot to go ahead and set up our load order, we can go ahead and go in game. So once I've done this, we'll be good to go. So I'll see you guys in game. Alright guys, so once you've loaded up your game, you should see this message in your top left hand corner telling you that you've installed your binary files correctly, so that's a good sign. And then directly after that, you'll get this yellow message telling you if you press shift and enter by default, it'll bring up this little GUI menu right here. And you can pretty much tweak the ENB through this menu however you want. You can like completely change it through this menu right here, so that's a really cool feature. Shift enter to get out of it. And then another quick tip is if you press the star key on your number pad, excuse me, it'll bring up a FPS counter in the top left hand corner. So that's a cool feature for the people that don't have an FPS counter. And I'm going to go ahead and load up my game so you guys can see what this looks like. Alright guys, so once you've loaded up your game, I'm going to put on clear weather real quick, so FW81A. And as you can see, this is what SUSHi ENB looks like. By By the way, with this ENB, it is completely normal to crash. So if you're trying to load up your game and once you first click on the SKSE loader or whatever and it takes like 30 seconds to load up, that's completely normal. That just happened to me. And it's completely normal if you crash while trying to load up a save. Surprisingly, I did not crash, but this ENB does require Climates of Tamriel in order to run. When I first tried this ENB a long time ago, I had Pure Weathers installed, but I had to completely switch over to Climates of Tamriel, otherwise I would crash. So, yeah guys, that's how you download and install SUSHi ENB, and like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this was a requested tutorial by a subscriber of mine. So if there's anybody here that would like me to do an installation video on a different ENB, or if you want me to compare some mods for my Skyrim mod comparison series, or ENB showcases, mod showcases, whatever you guys want, just leave it in the comments or send me a message and I'll get back to you with it as soon as I can. So yeah, this was how to download and install SUSHi ENB, and I hope this was easy enough for you guys to follow, and I will see you guys in the next video.